Are you ready?
Audio.
And we want to welcome to the 2022 YNC Youth National Championship. We wrap it up with the 14 and under for the division championship. Division 1, that is. Rampage in the black and the Maryland Heat in the white. And these two top 14 U's lining it up to declare who is the best 14 and under in the nation. Top of the first quarter. Welcome to the show. Empty backfield for the Heat, player in motion. He'll set up to the right-hand side of the quarterback. And they'll throw in the backfield. Has some room, gets out across the 40-yard line. And that might be a gain of 7 depending on the spot. That brings up 2nd and 4, so a gain of 6 for the Maryland Heat. Trips receivers to the top of the screen. Throws in the backfield once again, and it's one-on-one, and he'll be tackled before he gets to the first down marker. So that's going to be 3rd and maybe 2, depending on the spot. And off to the right-hand side, tackled in the backfield, not a lot of room. Rampage defenders in the backfield, and that may be a gain of a half a yard or maybe even a loss. So that's going to bring up 3rd and maybe 2.5 yards for the first. Top of the first quarter, 8 minutes and 38 seconds. In the first quarter, score 0-0. Opening drive for the Maryland Heat. So that's going to bring up 4th down. Maryland Heat not even going to hesitate as in trying to go for a 4th down conversion. No punt team out. Oh, and they do bring the punt team out. And it's going to be a false start on the Maryland Heat. So it being 4th and 8, Maryland Heat brings out the punt team. Want to play a field position game against this Rampage offense. Rampage offense led by Jefferson. They call him the General. And the punt is up. No one to return for Rampage. So they'll just let it take a bounce. The Rampage will set up their offense from the 28-yard line. 7 minutes and 33 seconds in the first quarter. Rampage defense stands tall. Maryland Heat 3 and out. We'll get a look at this Rampage offense. They were able to knock off the OG Ducks in their route to this championship game, losing to them early in the season, but was able to give them the payback in the semifinals. No, excuse me. They played the Buckeyes. Maryland Heat defeated the Ducks. So correction there. And quarterback has the lane. It's going to be a foot race. He'll get all the way out to midfield. And he shows you why he's so dangerous. He can do it in the air and on the ground as well. So Rampage knocks off the #1 team in the country. At the time was the Buckeyes. And this Maryland Heat defeated the OG Ducks, which previously they lost to around 5 times in a row, finally able to get the win in the semifinals. And pass complete to right-hand side. He shows you that flash of speed. And coming into the season and through the regular season, got to tell you, the OG Ducks and the Buckeyes were the favorites to be here in the national championships. So it looks a lot different from what a lot of people expected for this championship game, Rampage versus Maryland Heat. But that's why you got to play the game. Rampage, 4 wide receivers wide. Jefferson at the quarterback, 1 back set. Handoff right up the middle. Bobson weaves his way to the 30, makes another player miss, gets down to the 25, still on his feet, tight ropes the sideline, and man, oh man. First and 10 for Rampage, as right now offensively they are looking very good on their initial drive. 4 wide receiver set once again getting in the play from the sideline. And the Heat wants to talk about it as they're seeing this Rampage getting yards in chunks. They'll call a timeout. We have Dre up here calling the game for the audience here at the stadium. And, of course, he's from California, letting you know where his loyalty is at. He's screaming Rampage and beating his chest like a gorilla. Hey, no apologize, man. You know, hey, listen, of course. You know, Dre is going to go ahead and show his colors. It's Cali ball all day for him. And now he has his fists up and he's pumping. He say, hey, I'm not telling any lies. So right now, ball spotted at the 22-yard line. 5 minutes and 36 seconds in this opening quarter. And Rampage able to get 2 first downs back to back. Shout out to my boys at Under the Radar on the field, catching those highlights, catching those clips. Shout out to my boys over there at Battle, making sure they deck out all these boys after they win their national championships. They'll be sporting their rings, their necklaces, their battle gear. Straight movie down here in South Florida. Under the lights in the stadium, handoff right up the middle, fights for a couple yards, but not much there as this Maryland Heat defense is all over the play. No gain. That's going to be 2nd and 10 for Rampage. Quarterback back to throw to the 20-yard line. Stutter steps, gets down to the 15-yard line, and there's going to be flags on the play. And that looks like it's going to be a face mask against this Maryland Heat, so you'll tack on yards after that. So they're dialing it up offensively right now. You would want to say it's almost a changing of the guards at this 14 and under, as the Buckeyes and the Ducks have been dominant on the West Coast at this particular age group. Set up in a power right formation. Hand off to the right-hand side. And this time the 72 got beat one-on-one as it get hit in the backfield. So that's going to bring up 3rd and goal. The ball is marked at the 4-yard line, 3 minutes and 43 seconds in the first quarter. Timeout on the field, timeout Rampage. Quarterback and shotgun. And incomplete. And that's going to be flags on the play as the Maryland Heat player was all over the would-be receiver for the Rampage. So that's going to be an automatic first and half the distance to the goal line, 2 minutes and 55 seconds in the first quarter. And off right up the middle and touchdown Rampage as they got great push on the left-hand side of that line, and nobody touches the running back for Rampage as they were able to have a clear path right to the end zone, 2 minutes and 49 seconds in the first quarter. They go up 6-0, point after attempt coming up. Handoff, and doesn't look like he'll make it there. So the extra point is no good. Your score is 6-0, Rampage over Maryland Heat, 2 minutes and 48 seconds in the first quarter. Deep kick. Ball is fumbled, but he picks it up, gets around to the 30-yard line, gets to maybe around the 34, and that is where Maryland Heat will set up their offense as they trail LA Rampage 0-6 with 2 minutes and 31 seconds in the first quarter. So thank you for joining us right here on Generation X Youth Sports Network, powered by AG Sports. We just crowned the 13 and under champions, which are the Lauderhill Lions, and early today, DEA captured the 12 and under pass, and it's deflected by number 7 of Rampage. And of course, Rare Breeds of the 11U captured national gold as well. And Lambeau would be the new 2022 back-to-back champs at the 10 and under. And at 9 and under, the Georgia Eagles captured gold, defeating Twin City in a tight game as well. And at the 8 and under, of course, Voodoo doing what they do in a big win over Bessemer. And shout out to the 7 and 6 years old from the Bessemer program as they were able to capture national championships at 6 and 7 and under. Handoff right up the middle. He'll get across the 40-yard line. 1 minute and 56 seconds in the first quarter of play. Toss in the backfield and Rampage all over it. They'll lose yards there. They'll go back to the original line of scrimmage. And let's see what the call is. Laundry is on the field. And they're walking it the other way. So that's a 15-yard variety of that face mask against Rampage. So after a good defensive series, Rampage bails out the Heat with the 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10. They will get set up on the other side of the 50 at Rampage's 44-yard line. 1 minute and 27 seconds in the first quarter. So after the penalty, 1st and 10. And flags on the play, of course. And that's going to be that's going to be offsides, I should say, on the defense. And off left-hand side. And he'll battle close to the sticks for a first down. Let's see what the spot is. And that is enough to move the chains. First down, Maryland Heat. That is going to wind us down to the end of the first quarter. I don't know if they'll get the playoff with 6 seconds left in this first quarter. And they won't. So that's the end of your first quarters, ladies and gentlemen. The score is 6-0. The Heat trails the Rampage, but the Heat are on the move. Quarterback back to pass for the Heat. One-on-one down the sideline. And incomplete. Very well defended by the Rampage defender. Flag yet again. That is going to go against Rampage. 5 yards offsides. So that will be enough for a first down for this Maryland Heat offense. Ball spotted at the 24-yard line. Hand off left-hand side. Number 28 on the carry. He'll be tackled at the line of scrimmage. Looks like it'll be no gain with 9 minutes and 22 seconds in this second quarter. Second and 10, Maryland Heat. Quarterback back to pass. He'll step up in the pocket. He'll roll to the left. Hit at the line of scrimmage, and he'll be chased out of bounds. And a late hit way out of bounds. He's hit probably 5 yards out of bounds. Knocks him into the barricades. So they'll check on him, make sure he's okay. So that'll be a 15-yarder against this Rampage defense. And Rampage definitely will kind of try to calm down their troops. Coach Twin calls a timeout. He'll talk to his defense right now, try to get a little composure to defend this end zone. First and 10. Handoff right-hand side, has some block in front. Rampage converge on the tackle. So after a 2-yard or a 1-yard gain, it's going to bring up 2nd and 9 for Maryland Heat. Quarterback under center, I formation. Sends a play in motion for the Heat. Hand off to the tailback, to left-hand side. Oh, and a big open field tackle as number 2 cuts down 28 after a 3-yard gain. That's going to bring up 3rd and 6. So Rampage can get a first at the 1-yard line. So it brings up 3rd and 6. Twins receivers to the bottom. I formation once again, sends a play in motion. Handoff once again to number 28 to the left-hand side. He runs with power. Bringing up 3rd down, 3rd and 4. 4th and 4, excuse me. Very important down for both the Heat and Rampage. Rampage trying to keep them out of the end zone. And Heat trying to see their first score with 6 minutes and 35 seconds in the second quarter. Quarterback rolls to his right. A lot of pressure there, and he'll be sacked. As he rolled out to his right, didn't see his backside pressure, and that will be turned over on downs. Rampage ball, 1st and 10. So Rampage will set up their offense at the 10-yard line. Double doubles, quarterbacks and shotgun. Single back next to the quarterback. Hand off, and it's blown up by number 11 as he pushes the guard all the way back, knocks over the back with a power play from the defensive position of number 11, just really getting deep penetration in the backfield. So they'll lose 3 yards on that play, 3 to 4 yards on that play. 5 minutes and 39 seconds and running in the second quarter. Play action, throws a slant, and it's complete. Out to the 20, still on his feet, gets out to the 30, and it's going to be a foot race now to the 50, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20. And he got ran down, but not before he gets all the way down to the 11-yard line. What a play by Rampage as, man, their backs were against their own end zone on 3rd down, and Jefferson throws a strike. 1st and goal for Rampage. No flags on the play. Take a look at it. Jefferson stands in the pocket tall, throws it right across the middle, hits him in stride, makes 2 players miss there, turns on the Jets. And if it wasn't for the defensive lineman, number 11, all over the football field, running down the wide receiver. I mean, it's not often you'll see something like that, but man, he got on a horse. And while we're talking, we see the refs walking backwards. Let's see what this play is. Sideline infraction as the ref was running downfield. Coach out on the football field, collision with the referee, and coach from Rampage. So sideline infraction backs him up to around the 25-yard line. So quarterback and shotgun, 4 wide receiver. Quarterback fakes a handoff, tries to get outside. He'll be slung down to the ground by number 10. So it's going to bring up 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal. Rampage cannot get another first. Ball spotted at the 24-yard line. Quarterback and shotgun for Rampage. Throws all the way to the end zone and over the outstretched hands of his would-be receivers, incomplete on the play. Brings up 3rd and goal from the 24-yard line. Quarterback back to pass. Throws to the out, to the flats, to the 20. He has some room. He'll accelerate. Touchdown, Rampage. Wow. A lot of speed for these wide receivers for this Rampage offense. And once they get in the open field, you got to tackle them and tackle them quick. Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. There is a flag on the play. And they'll wave it. No flag. Touchdown, Rampage. Score is 12-0. 3 minutes and 10 seconds in the second quarter. Point after attempt. When Rampage wide receivers hits that open field, the difference of the game is that Maryland Heat cornerbacks have not been able to get them on the ground. And you don't tackle those wide receivers for Rampage, you'll be counting the points. So delay of game here on the extra point. They'll back them up 5 yards. And it's going to be incomplete. So your score, ladies and gentlemen, with 3 minutes and 9 seconds in the second quarter, your score is 12-0 Rampage. Kick is up. It'll take a bounce to the 20-yard line. He'll get to the 30. Tries to turn on some speed. And the ball is out. Ball is out. Rampage says they have it. And they do. Wow. Has to be deflating for this Heat team with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. And as Rampage has been able to execute offensively, that spells trouble for this Maryland Heat team. They don't want to go down 3 scores against this Rampage offense. Take a look at this. Ball is out. And there's no challenge that was given by the Maryland Heat coach because they can challenge to see if he was down on the field or not. But if that red flag is not thrown and they snap the ball, that plays history. Ball is up, overthrown. Threw it a little high for number 5. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for Rampage. Rampage getting a call from the sidelines. Ball deep. And it's caught. Wow. Jefferson throws a strike, and the receiver takes a bow in the end zone. And this is what the Maryland Heat didn't want to see. A Rampage offense that's clicking on all cylinders. We'll take a look at this play again with 2 minutes and 22 seconds in the second quarter. Rampage goes up 3 scores. Jefferson back to pass. He throws a dart right in stride to his wide receiver, and the cornerback just says, man, hey, I'm not even going to chase him to the end zone. And there you go, man. Take a bow. Putting on a show in the national championship. Touchdown, Rampage. So you got to think, they put on such a stellar performance, and when I say they, Maryland Heat against this OG Ducks 14U, did they leave that energy on the football field because they haven't displayed it at all against this Rampage team. We have a false start on Rampage, so they'll back them up 5 yards on the point after attempt. And the general is acting just like his nickname, general of this offense, standing in the pocket tall. Didn't take long to get that ball out. He took a one-step drop. Ball was gone. Threw it right in stride to his wide receiver. Touchdown, Rampage. Scores 18-0, going for the 2-point conversion or the 1-point conversion here, depending on what we see for this point after attempt. And if you ever see this kid, Jaden Jefferson, out of pads, just look like the regular Joe Schmo. Don't think he's the type of quarterback that he is. But when that kid puts on a helmet, he's lights out. Quarterback's in shotgun. Throws it to the corner once again. And man, oh man, he can do no wrong right now. Jefferson dropping dimes in the national championship. Extra point is good. Rampage go up 20-0.
Hey, hopping all on Facebook, not going for that flex. When a tough game get set, we do our best to try to pull up where they at. Hey, you ain't get no invite. Hey, hotter than a summer.
Kick is up. Ball still in play. He was waiting for it to go out of bounds. And steps out at the 10, and Maryland Heat has a uphill battle from here at the half. 1 minute and 8 seconds, down 20 points to this Rampage dynamic team right now. And this does not look like the Maryland Heat team that took on the OG Ducks a couple nights ago. And you gotta think, listen, that's a team they haven't beaten the last 5 tries. And they put a lot of energy in it, but man, did they not think the Rampage was ready to rock and roll after they defeated the number 1 team? Pressure, and he's gonna be hitting the end zone. The ball is out. Ball is out. And when I tell you this Rampage team is amped up for this national championship game in all phases, I mean, they are amped up. And that will do it for our halftimes, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the half. Rampage 20, Maryland Heat 0, and it's been all Rampage. When we come back from the second half of action, we'll see if the Maryland Heat can climb back into this game. The only way they stop that clock is by getting a score themselves and then it'll retract back to a regular game clock. But I can tell you how this Rampage defense has been playing. It's going to be a challenge for this Maryland Heat to get back into the national championship for 14 and under at the Youth National Championships. And welcome back to the second half of action for the 14 and under Youth National Championship. It's Rampage taking on the Maryland Heat. Right now it's been all Rampage, 20-0. And so Rampage deferred to the second half. They'll receive it on top of just being down 20-0. I want to say the Heat has to come out here and play some defense at the beginning of this second half. Takes a bounce, get out across the 20, trying to get out to the 25, to the 40. So he'll be close to midfield, and this is where Maryland Heat will set up their offense close to around the 49-yard line, being down 20-0. And most importantly, the Heat will need to score quickly so they can stop this clock from running. Rampage, shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Maryland shows blitz, draw play, comes right up to the 4-yard line, still on his feet, breaks another tackle, all the way out to the 30-yard line. And wow, what a run by Rampage on an off tackle play to the right-hand side on a draw. Quarterback in shotgun, 4 wide receiver set, single back. And this time he fakes the hands off, throws it out to the flats. Ooh, big hit delivered. And the ball will be spotted close to around the 25-yard line. Seven minutes and 14 seconds in the third quarter. Quarterback's in shotgun, 4 wide receiver set. Quarterback throws out to the flats. Caught at the 20, down to the 15, still on his feet. Oh, and man, he broke the tackles. If he keeps his feet, he gets into the end zone. He'll be tripped up at the 9-yard line. Skill positions have been the key to this game for Rampage. And it's going to be timeout on the field. Maryland Heat knows, hey, this is not what we want coming out of this second half. And Rampage is knocking at the door once again. Jefferson shotgun. 4 wide receivers from their stack position. Jefferson back to pass. He'll roll out to the right. Pressure. And ball is out. Maryland Heat scoops up the play, and that's number 11. And that's a speedster. That defensive lineman, you have to get on a horse to go get him, and they won't catch him. Touchdown, Maryland Heat. And we knew that kid had speed. And once he scooped it, you knew it was going to take a lot for him to be stopped. So with 4 minutes and 49 seconds, Maryland Heat gets on the board with a scoop and score as Jefferson was rolling to his right, did not see the pressure from behind. Ball slapped out his hand, scooped up, and a touchdown going the other way 80 yards later. Watch the play here. Jefferson didn't like what he saw, pulled the ball down, and scooped up by number 11, number 28 with the bat on the hand. And number 11 does the rest on his own, holds the ball up, saying, yes, sir, we stopped that running clock. Now let's try to get back into this game. Number 11 definitely has that turbo boost as a defensive line. Haven't seen a kid that size move with that speed in a long time. So we have a red flag challenge on the field. Maryland Rampage is challenging to see if that was a fumble. We'll watch the replay once again. Rolls out. And ball is out before his knee down. And the umpire's up here in the booth with us. And he's already made the call. He didn't need to see it more than once. Ball was out before his knee touched. That's going to be a Maryland Heat touchdown. Direct snap, extra point will be no good. So your score, ladies and gentlemen, with 4 minutes and 49 seconds in the third quarter, the score is 20-6 Rampage. And we'll watch that play once again as JD3 tried to get outside the pocket. And number 11 scoops and scores for this Maryland Heat defense. So Rampage burns their only red flag challenge on that fumble. They have no more for this half. And thank you for dropping that name for us. Give that kid his flowers. Number 11, Micaiah Parson, balling out for his Maryland Heat team. Kick to the 40-yard line and maybe gets to the 44, and that's where Rampage will set up their offense in this third quarter, 4 minutes and 38 seconds. Trips receivers to the bottom of the screen. Throws to the flats, out to the 45, to the 50. Makes one player miss. And nice move. He'll be tripped up at the 44-yard line. Rampage has some special receivers. When these guys get in the open field, they're super dangerous. Timeout Heat. And off up the middle. Tackled by number 11, Parsons. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Ball batted down by number 1 of Maryland Heat. He wanted to throw to the flats. Number 1 goes airborne and knocks the ball down. JD3 throws across the middle. And that will be to the 39-yard line. That brings up 4th down for Rampage. Decision time if they want to punt or if they want to go for it. 2 minutes and 9 seconds in the third quarter. And number 11 once again on the tackle, but he's going to get a horse collar there. Was able to get on his horse and run down Jefferson. But you see him reach to the back of the shoulder pads of the quarterback. And it's going to be discussion in the middle field. I'm not sure if that's the call, but that's what I saw up here. We'll wait for the official call for this flag. And so they discuss it, no flag. So another solo tackle by number 11 as he's all over the football field playing inspired football for this Maryland Heat team. 1 minute and 48 seconds in the third quarter. They trail Rampage 6-20. And that's been a spotlight or a bright spot for this Maryland Heat team, number 11, all over the football field. On the other side, it's been JD3, Jefferson at the quarterback, dropping dimes all night. And these wide receivers, and he's had an array of them just making big plays for the Maryland Heat from the kickoff of this game. So here we go, Twins to the top of the screen. Shotgun for Maryland Heat. Hand off to number 2, trying to get upfield, and not a lot of room there as his Rampage defense was able to zero in on him really quick, maybe a gain of 1 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 9 for Maryland Heat. So we'll have an injury timeout, player down for Rampage, right here on Generation X, brought to you by AG Sports. Quarterback back to pass pressure, and it looks like he wanted to throw a screenplay, threw it a little too hard for that play to develop. That's going to be an incompletion for Maryland Heat with 1 minute and 9 seconds in this third quarter. Scores 20-6, Rampage. Timeout, Rampage. Third down, Maryland Heat. Quarterback back to pass. Throw it up top into double coverage. Nothing there. Well defended by Rampage. So that's going to bring up fourth down for this Maryland Heat. You almost want to think that going into the fourth quarter, this might be 4-down territory. They're discussing it over there at the Maryland Heat. 4th and 10. Incomplete on the play. And so it's going to be turnover on downs. That was 4th and 10. First down, Rampage. Throws to the flat. And look at the speed of these wide receivers for Rampage. He'll run out to around the 29-yard line. That's going to be about a gain of 9. Scores 20-6, 16.3 seconds. Rampage in a 4-wide receiver set. Top of the fourth quarter. He show blitz. And a lot of pressure coming in. And that sack will be recorded by number 9 for the Maryland Heat. Handoff right up the middle. And nothing there, as it was a combined tackle between number 7 and number 11 for the Maryland Heat. Jefferson back to pass. He'll step to his left, throws it to the 40-yard line, and he has nothing but green in front of him. To the 10. Touchdown, Rampage. As they have put on an offensive show today against this Maryland Heat defense. And as I tell you, if you don't get these receivers down for Rampage, soon as they catch the ball, it spells trouble for the opposing defense. Touchdown, Rampage. Take a look at this play here. As it looks like the Rampage has put a track team together at the wide receiver position. You look here as JD3 stands in the pocket, slides to the left, throws a strike, and the defender falls down at the 40-yard line, and the Rampage receiver will do the rest on his own. Touchdown, Rampage. So we'll return back to the running clock with that score. Rampage going for the point after attempt. Kick is up. And it's going to be Rye White. So your score right now, 26-6, 7 minutes and 22 seconds in the fourth quarter. Ball spotted at the 35-yard line for the kickoff for Rampage. After the score 26-6, 6 minutes and 15 seconds in the fourth quarter. Kick is up. Takes a bounce, goes all the way back to the 20-yard line. And that's going to be a face mask right there as he grabbed his face mask. So 2 flags on the play. And for that, Rampage get the Gatorade splash dance on them, and Rampage will walk away this game as the youth national champions with the final score. 26-6 is your final score.